Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor for those of you that don't know, and in today's video we are doing the third episode of I Watched The Sims Sparked So You Don't Have To. The Sims Sparked is a Sims reality TV competition show where there's a bunch of teams split into different groups and they're competing to win $100,000. If you haven't seen episode 1 or 2 of this series, you can definitely check that out in the description down below. I'll have the links to that as well as the links to the actual episode on Buzzfeed multiplayer. So we're just going to jump right into all of my thoughts on this episode. So this episode actually worked a little bit differently to all of the other ones because in the other episodes that we've seen, the first two, they would have a skills challenge and then an elimination challenge. But this entire episode was actually just a skills challenge where the winning team would get an advantage in next week's elimination challenge where a winner will be crowned. The way that they structured this episode, instead of having it be Team Llama and Team Cowplant against each other, they actually paired them up with their counterpart. So the Stylist against the Stylist, the Builder against the Builder, and the Storyteller against the Storyteller, which I actually really liked because it was more focused on their individual talents and you got to see more of what these people are capable of. So we had Dr. Gluon versus Steffo Sims, X Mira Mira versus Little Siha, and Dr. Ashley versus Simlacy. So the players in this challenge are going to get points based on judges' votes. So each judge will get to vote for whoever they think won, and there's a total of 9 points to be given. So 3 points per judge. It's a whole system. We'll get into that at the end. So the first of the challenges was the Stylist challenge. This was Little Siha versus X Mira Mira, and it was called Gender Not Required. What they had to do was create and style 6 different models that were different in their size, their shape, their gender, and their ethnicity. And they wanted to have a cohesive and unique gender-fluid fashion collection for your Sims to model in a fashion showcase. Now, they were only given 45 minutes to make 6 Sims who were all different and who all had unique outfits, and I don't think that that's enough time for even 2 Sims. Like, that's ridiculous. So it's really impressive that they got this done at all. The players actually had to compete completely alone without their teammates even in the room to give them ideas or to cheer them on. Nothing. They were actually in a different room watching on the feed cameras that we've seen the judges use before. While they were actually creating their Sims, we got a peek into some of the judging, and Simguru Ninja, or Dave, mentioned that he isn't seeing a ton of diversity on their body size or their age. There's actually only 1 elder out of all 12 Sims that were created, and the rest of them were just adults. There wasn't any teens, there was none of that. So let's go into their individual performance. So we have X Mira Mira, who did a Cool as Ice with a Chill collection. This was kind of a cohesive blue theme for all of the outfits, with each player wearing blue items with a little pop of neutral, which I liked, how it wasn't neutral items with a pop of blue. It was kind of the other way around. So of course, when the judges went through this, Dave mentioned that there was no variation of age. Kelsey had mentioned that the makeup looks were very good, and there were even men wearing makeup, which definitely fits in with the gender not required theme of this. And Taylor mentioned that Mira did definitely use some different ethnicities, which we all know that she's known for, so we knew that she would kill that part of the challenge. She really only missed one thing for the challenge, which was age, which Dave pointed out numerous times throughout. So then we have Little Siha. She went with a floral theme, so each person was wearing one pop of florals, and it was very cute because I'm the type of person who likes flowers on everything. My favorite clothes since I was 14 have all had flowers on them. I've recently gotten into polka dots, so that's a new thing. But anyway, so she actually named the collection after her grandmother, Suzanne, who apparently wears a lot of interesting patterns. So she definitely had a little bit of inspiration and tried to make it a little bit more personal to her, which I really liked. However, her models definitely lacked size inclusivity. Pretty much every Sim was around the same size, pretty average. There was no skinny models and there weren't any plus size looking models. It was just kind of all the same, which I found a little bit disappointing. She did have 1 elder in the thing, so that was a little bit better. I do agree with the judges. Kelsey did say that she really liked the florals, the outfits were good, but the challenge was to do with diversity and inclusivity, and that was just kind of missing. So then we moved on to the Builders challenge. Now, one of the people really, really impressed me, and the other one I was kind of disappointed with, to be honest. So in this challenge, they had to create a unique mode of transportation using unconventional materials. Now, when you hear that, you don't really know where they're going to go. They only had 45 minutes to do it, which was not enough time. And one of the players, Dr. Ashley, blew me out of the water. I was like, oh my goodness, my brain is exploding. This is incredible. She decided that her unconventional mode of transportation would be a time machine, which is never something that my brain would think of. I wouldn't go transportation, go time machine. My brain went transportation, school bus, train, and that's where it ended because my brain is obviously not as talented as hers. So that was incredibly creative and I was really impressed with that. At first when she was building it, I thought it might be a spaceship. Nope, she went further. It was a time machine. She wasn't traveling from A to B. She was traveling through time. She definitely took the unconventional pieces and unconventional mode of transportation that the judges wanted to heart and really went with that. And you could kind of tell based on how she was building it and everything that was happening that she was going to win. Like that she was going to get all of the judges' votes. There was no doubt about it in my mind. It was super cool because it actually looked like the time machine had a crash landing and she had some debris around it and it looked a little bit run down on the outside. But when you went into the building, it was actually super modern. And one detail that I loved is she had clocks all over the walls in like every room of this place. And she said that the person driving the time machine is going to have to keep track of time in all sorts of different time periods so they kind of know how to make the time machine work. The judges only said positive things about Dr. Ashley. Kelsey said that every piece had a purpose and that she loved the attention to detail. Dave said that it was an excellent choice for like a weird mode of transportation and that it used a lot of the really weird techie pieces that we get in game packs and stuff packs and all of that you never really know how to use. She definitely used a ton of different packs, which is really impressive. And then we go to Simless's performance in this challenge, and I honestly think that her performance would have been a really cool YouTube video. It would have been really cute, and a lot of people would have clicked on it just based on the thumbnail, but I think that her actual execution was very boring. So what she decided to do is she went with a school bus that someone has converted into like a mobile home that they live in. This is something that's super popular on like Pinterest and on YouTube right now, and it's definitely something that makes sense and could work for an unconventional mode of transportation, but the issue is she didn't go far enough with it. The outside of the bus was kind of lackluster. It had some cute details, but she spent, I would say, about 90% of her time decorating the inside, which wasn't the focus of the challenge. The focus was the mode of transportation. Even during the challenge, Taylor Parks was really worried that Simlessy was going to spend too much time on the inside of her build, that she went into the workroom, talked to Dr. Ashley for a second, but then went over to Simlessy and like dropped a hint like, hey, get working on the outside because that's what we're actually worried about. The inside was so cute. I would love to live in this bus and like travel the country, but it's not something that is as creative and as out there as Ashley's build was. Like that time machine was just insane. Simlessy's performance was great. It was a cute bus. It would have been a great YouTube thumbnail, but I just don't think that it was perfect for this challenge. Like the judges had a lot of things to say. Like Dave said he doesn't know if it was the right call to focus on all of the interiors. Kelsey said she definitely used unconventional things to create the bus, but it could have been a lot more unique. And Taylor said she loves the build, but it definitely wasn't enough to win. So after the first two challenges, all of the contestants are actually sent home for the night. They go back to their hotels. And then we find out in the morning when the storyteller challenge is supposed to happen that Steph has decided to leave The Sims Sparked. So Steph Osims had decided she no longer wanted to be a part of it. We saw it in the last episode when Team Gnome left that she was extremely emotional because Plumbella and the English Simmer, Jesse and Molly, were eliminated, and it seemed like she thought that she couldn't do it without them. She thought that she was going to let her team down, and it kind of bummed me out, to be honest, but I'll insert a clip here of her talking about her reason for leaving.
I ended up making the decision to leave the show shortly after. Team Gnome left.
The team being eliminated is Team Gnome.
Oh my God! Good luck, guys. I had my speech from I went back and forth with it a lot because I just didn't want to let my team down. I was really trying to push through for them. But the last thing I wanted to do was hold my team back because I couldn't do what I needed to do for them. The English Simmer and Plumbella are my friends. We came in it together, even though they're not on my team. And when they left, a piece of me left with them. So I didn't know how to do it without them.
I honestly do get some of the reasons why Steph would have thought that she needed to leave. I do have, some of the same mental health issues as Steph. I have a lot of social anxiety and I don't like being in places that are unfamiliar. And I can see that she probably had her two close friends in Jesse and Molly kind of feeling like a security blanket, and her two friends are at the next table, so it's not as scary to be on this TV show and have to present in front of people because you can look over and see extremely familiar faces, and that might make it easier for her. And once they left her, it was just her and she had to actually do it on her own, and I feel like some kind of anxiety just took over from that point. This is a really crazy situation for these people to be in. These are people that spend most of their time alone at home working and just hanging out and doing very chill things, who are now brought into this different kind of spotlight on television. And I get where she's coming from and I get why she left, but I'm genuinely just disappointed. As someone who would have loved to have a chance to win part of $100,000, I can't imagine giving up an opportunity like this. I can understand that if she were in a room of complete strangers that she only met a few days ago. Like every single person she didn't even had never heard of them. I can understand her wanting to leave for that reason, but she's met a lot of these people and she's seen a lot of these people in different events and all of that. So I feel like she should feel a little bit more comfortable being around them. I really just wish that she could have stuck it out for a few more days, but I do get that putting your mental health first is really, really important. And if you don't think that you can be there for whatever reason, you shouldn't stay just because you think that you're gonna disappoint fans. It honestly just kind of bums me out, and I wish for this reason that Team Gnome would have won last week, because then we wouldn't have had to deal with this at all. It really bums me out because Ashley and Avery, Dr. Ashley and Lil Siha, did such a great job, and they've done really good work thus far, and they just lost a team member, and it just really, really sucks. So I'm disappointed, but I understand why she left. So when announcing that Steph was leaving, they did say that as per their rules, Steph was going to be replaced with the counterpart from the last eliminated team, which just so happened to be the English Simmer. So she left because her friends were gone and then was replaced by one of her friends. Interesting concept, but I was really excited to see Molly come back because I do love her as a Sims player, and on this show she's just really cute, and I feel like she just gives a good vibe in this show, and I really like that. And I was really happy that she got another chance, even if it was under these not so ideal circumstances. So then finally we had the Storytellers Challenge, which ended up being Dr. Gluon versus the English Simmer. In this challenge, the storytellers had to act as if they were a real estate agent trying to sell a less than ideal home to the judges and give them a real-time tour of the home. They had no time to prepare. They didn't get to see the home beforehand. And when Gluon was going, because he went first, Molly was actually in the other room and didn't actually get to see anything that was going on. So she didn't get any kind of leg up. So Simguru Ninja, or Dave, was going to be controlling the computer so that he could kind of guide the contestants consistently and not have them get to do what they want to do. It was kind of like you have to just go off the cuff and think of reasons why this house is the way that it is. It was an interesting place to live, but you had to think of reasons on the spot, which was a very difficult challenge. I honestly kind of feel like this was made for Gluon. This is the kind of challenge where someone who does Twitch and thinks on the spot a lot is going to be a lot better than somebody whose main thing is YouTube and has a lot of time to edit videos and put like consistent thoughts together, and who would need a little bit more time to come up with an idea. Plus, Molly had just been eliminated the other day, and she had to compete out of nowhere with no prep time, and I just feel like this would have kind of, if I was in her position, like made me very, very nervous, and I would have been like umming and ahhing the entire time. So she actually did a very good job considering the situation she was in. So Gluon's performance, he's a very, very funny guy. He can definitely make jokes off the cuff, and he explained a lot of the things happening in a really funny way. Even from the first moment, you could tell he was going to be hard to beat. There was a skeleton standing in the kitchen, and he named him Roger and said that he comes to clean on Saturdays. Or there was wallpaper in the kitchen that was peeling off, and he was like, oh, the wallpaper's very versatile. It can come on or off. The jokes were good. He hardly had to pause and think of the jokes. He was making them really, really quickly and thinking of these ideas very fast, and he was really good on his feet. The judges were laughing pretty much the entire time. He had a joke in every room, and he went with everything that was thrown his way. So it was a really impressive performance by Gluon. Molly's performance was unfortunately a little bit worse, but it's fine. It's fine. We love the English Simmer. You could tell she was really nervous because the second you heard this challenge, you knew that it was made for Gluon and that he was going to be really good at it. She was definitely able to give like a cohesive storyline for the house, and she had a few good jokes, but I don't think that she was as consistent and as like quick-witted as Gluon was able to be. There were numerous times when she had to stop and think before she could actually say anything. She did also throw in a lot of ums, which kind of shows that you're not as like comedically timed, but then I think that this isn't really what the challenge should have been. It was more focused on making jokes and being funny than actually telling a story, but I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like it was kind of made for Gluon's team to win. I'm just a little bit disappointed that Molly had to be thrown back in because someone quit and then have a challenge that wasn't made for her. It's gotta like hurt a little bit. Also, can we get these two houses on the gallery because they were hilarious? There was an entire room with like a person who was a hamster, and I'm pretty sure they were locked in there. It was wild. So now on to the judging of this episode. So this one worked a little bit different. The judges didn't come to a agreement on it. They each got to vote. So each judge would get to vote on who they thought won. So they would either vote for X Mirror Mirror or Little Seahawk, and vice versa. So there were a total of 9 points to be given out, and one team had to get at least 5 points to win. And the advantage in the final challenge that the winning team is going to get is actually a 15-minute head start. So they would have 15 more minutes than the other team on their computer, which that alone is incredible. Like 15 minutes of extra time, if it's anything like the other challenges, just to like edit and put final touches can really bring you one step ahead of the other team, and that could be a $100,000 win. So the way that the judging went is that all of the votes in the Stylist challenge actually went to Ex Mira Mira, and all of the votes in the Build challenge actually went to Dr. Ashley. So when we're going into the storytelling, it was 3 votes for one team, 3 votes for the other team. For the storytelling challenge, we had Dave vote for the English Simmer, and then we had Taylor vote for Dr. Gluon, and Kelsey ended up having to break the tie, and ultimately she went with Team Llama and Dr. Gluon. So they are going to get that advantage in the final challenge, which is making it way more likely that they're going to win. They've been together since day one, they've had their ups and downs, and they've definitely come out on top, which is really, really impressive, and I'm at a point where I think that they should win just because they have started out so rough, and they've definitely been the underdog, and the fact that they're making it to the finale with an advantage is incredible. It's also going to be really hard for Team Cowplant to work together because they've never worked as a threesome before. Molly's just been thrown into this team that she doesn't know their thought processes or any of that yet, so I definitely think that the other team has even more advantage than the one that they were given. So just some overall thoughts on the episode. I just have a few this time. I liked that there wasn't that much drama. There wasn't any annoying things that really irritated me about this episode, except for Steph leaving. That really just, I still don't really know how to feel about it. But I really liked the format of the skills challenge. We had a lot more time to see the actual things that were going on. It didn't feel as rushed as the other episodes have. I honestly am so disappointed in Steph leaving. Like, Cowplant could have been the team to beat. She had a lot of really interesting ideas, and I get that it's hard. I'm just sad that she bailed on her team, and I don't think that that was fair to the rest of her team. It just really bums me out. And I wish that she would have just kind of stayed and finished the show, because staying and not performing to your best, in my opinion, is better than quitting. For once, I actually agreed completely with the judging. In the first episode, I didn't really agree 100%, and in the second episode, I definitely didn't agree with the judging. But I think that Llama did a better job overall, but Dr. Ashley deserved all of the votes that she got. And there you have it, you guys. Those are all of my thoughts on episode 3 of The Sims Sparked. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, as well as other Sims videos and all sorts of fun stuff. I really hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.